Hi everyone, it's Four Corners, and today we're going to be watching episode 1 and 2 of Ninjago Crystalized at 0.25x speed. Now these episodes were packed with so many different emotions, so alongside the usual 0.25x speed breakdown and pointing out Easter eggs, we're also going to be pointing out details that they used to enhance these emotions. When we're in the opening action scene and the new ninja are trying to stop this Vengestone shipment and Mr. Beaner starts fighting back with their fire, the main teal ninja is actually able to deflect that fire with his blade. I didn't realize he could actually do that at the start, and this whole deflecting fire is a common theme with these guys' new weapons, because the pink guy, he uses his hammer to literally slam the fireball back. I also like the detail to how this action scene mirrors the first one we saw in Seabound, but the ninja get a lot closer, almost defeating Misdemeanor. If Nyad hadn't lost control of her powers, they probably would have gotten her then, but the ninja here don't get very close. Misdemeanor just kind of gets away, which might not seem like a huge detail, but it still gives respect to the experience that our older ninja have while making these guys look cool. So to me it says yes, there is a ninja team and they're very good, but it's subtly saying they're not as good as the old team, which kind of needs to be there to respect the older ninja. Now when the camera is kind of scanning the police commissioner, this is more into the actual crystal stuff, which this episode or the next episode doesn't really get into much. The camera is kind of scanning this police commissioner, and it goes through a lot of other people in its database before coming to the final conclusion. First it kind of looks at a sailor from Seabound, then it thinks it's Sorla, the old leader of the ice village from the Neverrealm, which is completely crazy. I don't know if this is just a Easter egg or if whoever is trying to scan this is actually from the Neverrealm. This is very curious. And then finally we see another sailor, which we've seen a lot in Seabound and also in the next episode. Next, when we finally come over to the ninja, this shot is epic as the Ninjago logo comes in, but we see the red petals collecting. Points for consistency there because Master of the Mountain also had the same color of leaf building up when the ninja hadn't cleaned up in a while. Now when we see the new news update of how the new ninja are coming in and Cole's reacting to it, the guy in the back who was put in a pile by the new ninja, he seems to have just woken up when these guys are lifting him and trying to put him presumably in the police car. And so the police back there, they're kind of struggling to get his legs. And then as we come into the next shot, this guy is actually getting dragged because he's not complying at all. So I just thought that was funny. And then when we go to see what Kai's up to, he's in a dojo. Originally something kept bothering me because this whole location looks so familiar. Then I realized this looked a lot like the first Spinjitzu master's house when Wu and Garmadon were kids and they made friends with Asphira. It's the same type of forest with the same type of trees. It's on a hilltop, so who knows, this could be the same house. The house designs aren't exactly the same, but it's been 1,000 years plus, so the house design probably got updated. It would be pretty cool if this was actually true. And when we come into the dojo, we see that Kai's biggest fan, Jake, from season 11, he's there as well, which makes sense. He would want to train with his favorite ninja. He definitely deserves to be there. The next detail is kind of in your face if you've seen the show Cobra Kai, but the instructions Kai tells his students is basically saying no mercy, just like the teacher in Cobra Kai says.
Remember kids, in a real fight, we don't greet our opponents. What's the best defense?
To obliterate your enemy before they see you coming!
Strike first. Never wait for the enemy to attack. We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak.
I do not recall Master Wu teaching us to obliterate our enemies before they see us coming.
As well as the suits the students are wearing, they're black, which is just like the student suits in Cobra Kai. As well as the fact that Kai is wearing a headband. We know we've seen a Cobra Kai reference before in Prime Empire in the back of Kai's torso, so someone at the Ninjago group definitely likes that show. Next up, they really emphasize that Zane has turned off his emotion meter. He doesn't smile once in so many different cases. Even in the middle of his mouth moving animations, they make sure that his mouth never moves to a smiling position. He doesn't gasp alongside Kai or Cole when they're looking outside the window. However, I did catch this guy sneaking a smile at the very end. I don't get how he did that because he has no emotions, but come on, the ninja team's getting back together. Even a rock would be smiling at that. So I don't blame Zane for that inconsistency, and plus he's not even smiling by that much. It's just a very slight smile. So we know Cole's the only one who kept his mind together after Nia's loss, but the writers make sure they still show that Cole is pretty sad about it. When Cole's talking about Benthamar's win in Merlopia and how he returned to rule over there, Cole doesn't seem to care at all, and he kind of disrespectfully throws it to the side, showing that he still feels really sad about Nia as well. And I feel like that needed to be there so that Cole doesn't feel completely shallow in this episode. And Jay's had this consistent theme ever since the end of Seabound, where he wants everyone to keep knowing what Nia did. And in Seabound we thought that was just a one-time thing, but that turns out to be his whole character motivation in this season.
I hope everyone knows what Nia did for them.
It's only been a year since Nia disappeared, and it's like nobody cares anymore. They just moved on with their lives.
Now moving on to the second episode, I couldn't really find as much because this episode was mainly Nia talking to Nyad and sorting through her feelings, which was amazing to see. But speaking of emotions, they show a skeleton when Nyad explains that people dying in the sea is neither right or wrong, but it's something that has to naturally happen. And I find that them showing the skeleton when she say that is very, very dark. It's subtle, but it emphasizes that creepiness the ocean has. Then there's shots like Nia swimming up towards the surface, and these are absolutely beautiful. They just show the whole ocean and a small Nia to kind of emphasize the loneliness. There's a lot of shots like these, and I think they're really well chosen. That's mainly why I think this episode was successfully able to carry so many emotions. So we see those lanterns that lead Nia to the lighthouse. But those water lanterns, I did some research on them to see if they have any other value. And traditionally, they're actually supposed to take these past souls that have gone beyond the world back to their natural form. And in most cases, that's not literally, but here that is actually the literal case. Nia is a past soul, and those lanterns are literally leading her or helping her out to lead her back to her natural form. Definitely makes me respect this episode more than I already did. Her eyes also reflect on her hair, which is amazing attention to detail on the animation. I think that's why this Nyad form looks so nice in the show. I really wish the minifigure was a lot more accurate. Nonetheless, the newer animation company for Ninjago after season 11, they focus on so many tiny details like this that really make the whole season even more believable and amazing to watch. Especially these last two episodes, they've been really, really nice. That worst fear Nia explained to Nyad being the fact that she's scared to be ordinary again was clued to us a long time ago in season 11 when the ninja were looking inside this mirror that reveals their worst fear, which is really cool how they planned this a long time ago. Zane and Lloyd also had these reflections. Zane's was the fact that he lost his humanity and just became a mindless machine, which I guess kind of came true in the Ice chapter, as well as what's happening in this season where he turned off his emotion meter. And I think Lloyd's might come true this season because he's gaining an Oni form just like his dad Garmadon. So maybe his worst fear is a good thing coming true, but it just takes a while for him to realize and embrace that. But that's more of a theory for Lloyd. And that is all for today, breaking down episode 1 and 2 of Ninjago Crystalized. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe because I'll be making more like this. And also these videos do take a lot of effort to make, so a subscribe and a like would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching a breakdown on the first 2 episodes of Ninjago Crystalized, which turned out to be amazing. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.